Yo, you are not rocking with the best. Breaking records,
Man, radio is like the place to be. I don't know, fuck strange music, dude.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Can't complain.
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You are a multi-talented individual.
Let's just say I'm just confused. No, joking. No, I like to keep busy, I guess.
Yeah, no, you know what? I can feel you there because I also am a person who wears many hats in this
Uh,
thing called media that we do. So I understand that totally. You know, you're not always inspired to create. So you got to keep yourself busy doing other things.
that's right, exactly. And I see you do a lot yourself, so
No, definitely. And you know what they say.
so so that's how I started. And I also had my own.
Ready for round two. Round two of the interviews. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's get it started. What's good, brother? Did another interview just at 8 p.m. I think with Bruiser. It was dope. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. Can't complain.
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You are a multi-talented individual.
Let's just say I'm just confused. No, joking. No, I like to keep busy, I guess.
Yeah, no, you know what? I can feel you there because I also am a person who wears many hats in this
Uh,
thing called media that we do. So I understand that totally. You know, you're not always inspired to create. So you got to keep yourself busy doing other things.
That's right, exactly. And I see you do a lot yourself, so
No, definitely. And you know what they say too? You can never become a millionaire with one revenue stream. So the more things you know how to do, the better.
that's right.
But yeah, like I'm just kind of more intrigued right now about your history, how you got into so many different things. Like did you grow up in Toronto?
Yeah, so born and raised here. I live in Brampton now. I'm not sure if you're familiar, so that's where I live. And so yeah, so always been like all throughout the GTA. I kind of moved around. So how I got into, I guess, music, well, I guess an interesting story because my background's really in media and journalism, and that's what I have my degree in. So I started off like in TV reporting, hosting, like always on a freelance basis. It's definitely a tough industry to get into. So so that's how I started. And I also had my own show on a few channels, like some like entertainment programs where I was always interviewing artists.
TV and stuff like that.
Right. So I always had a passion for music, as cliche as that sounds. But um I guess it got in my head like I want to be that person on the other side being interviewed. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I guess what really sparked my interest is when about 3 years ago in 2017, I was working for the entertainment department in a cruise ship.
Okay.
Yeah, Princess Cruise Line. So I did that, and like part of the job was like you're hosting and emceeing all the events on the ship, leading all the social activities, and another part was actually performing. So performing as like a singer and dancer. So that kind of sparked my interest in performing and singing. So as soon as I finished my contract and I got back to Toronto, I just started taking, like, I didn't really know how to begin, to be honest. So I just knew I wanted to be a singer. I'm like, okay, so let me sign up for whatever music school I come across. And then I realized the schools I was choosing is not really like the path that I want to get into, like a Ontario Conservatory. It's like they follow the book. I'm like, yeah, I'm not trying to become like an opera singer, so I don't think this is quite working out for me. So then I just started going to different studios and just to get a vibe of like what's involved in singing and just learning different vocal techniques. And then I got bored. And then I stopped taking classes because I realized I don't have enough discipline for that, and like I can't like pay attention. So I just so I got bored. But it was a great learning experience. I learned a lot. I think what I liked from it is just performing on stage, like when they had the recitals and stuff. And I guess that's what I liked.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do more. I wanted to be on stage. So then I just started performing at like local festivals, like just singing cover songs and like open mics. And then weirdly enough, I guess City Bookings, Jay from City Bookings, yeah, so I came across some of my videos. And then he's like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm trying to become a singer. I like singing. He's like, okay, do you have any music out? I'm like, no, I don't have any music out, but that's the goal. So he's like, okay, well, let me hear what you got. So I sang a little something, and then he's like, okay. He's like, do you want to do it like do you want Danny to be like a feature, like on a track? I'm like, Danny what? He's like, Danny Fernandez. I'm like, is that possible? Like, would he do a track with me? Like, he doesn't even know who the hell I am. So he's like, no, he's like, I think it can definitely work. So he's like, why don't you guys meet up and see what you guys can work on? So he set up like a studio session with Danny. And funny enough, like strangely enough, that was like my first time actually in a recording studio. So not only am I meeting like this platinum selling artist for the first time, but I'm gonna do a track, and then like this is my first time in the studio. So it was kind of nerve-wracking at first, but like he was so chill that like we kind of vibed, and we knew like what kind of sound we wanted for the track, and we literally put a track down like within 2 days, and we finished it.
That's awesome. So that was your first time ever in a studio.
Yeah, and it's not even out yet, so it's coming out
June 5th, right?
June 5th, exactly.
Hey, go. Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting because I was looking, online, just from your music. I knew you did a lot of other stuff, but I wanted to check out some of the music, and I couldn't find any. And I'm like,
no, I don't have any yet. So this is just my first track.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. Sometimes you have artists who take down their whole catalog. Like they're not want to reinvent. So I wasn't sure if maybe that was a situation for you or not, or if you're just kind of coming right out the gates here with it.
Start strong,
No, that's awesome. That's it's a smart way to come out as well too into music. But a lot of artists, I feel like jump the gun early in their career. They're young, right? Like probably recording a teenager or something, and then just put stuff out. You know what I mean? And then before you know it, the time of you being a debut artist is coming past, and now you're kind of working.
That's right.
I think it's kind of cool that you actually took, kind of like it's kind of like the mold of like when I was coming up, like how it did do through music labels. You know what I mean? Like you kind of put time into the music, into the image, into everything, and then put it out as a package. And I think a lot of artists lack doing that nowadays. So I think it's really cool that that's kind of the approach you're taking, and come out with a bang with a big feature. And the track's called "Let You Go," right?
That's right, exactly. So it's an EDM track. It's kind of like taking a throwback to like mid 2000s like EDM. So I mean that's what like I grew up with, and I kind of wanted to bring that vibe back. So that's kind of what the track is. Definitely like a club banger, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. That's cool. And I think it's cool too. Like you never really like sang or anything prior to doing like the cruises. Like that was your introduction.
Yeah, that was like karaoke and the cruise ship. Like that's really it. So I just
wow, crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. So you originally then like you because you said you have a major in media, right, or journalism.
That's
so
right.
That's what you wanted to do, was journalism. And
for many years. I mean, I started like I was in the industry for a long time, starting off as a writer, though, a freelance writer. So I was doing a lot of writing for different newspapers and magazines, and then I started getting into TV and radio, and I did a lot of radio hosting and TV hosting, and then I just got tired of interviewing people, and now I want to be interviewed. I like being on the other side. It's a lot more fun.
It's funny too, though, because I'm a complete opposite.
Oh, really?
Thing. So I started off doing music. I did music for years, you know what I mean? And once a very hard industry, like the same way you said about media, but music, very hard industry to crack into, right?
It is.
And basically didn't have outlets, and so I started a radio show, which in turn I interviewing artists, you know what I mean? So it's funny, kind of like the opposite story. Like I just kind of never went to school for it, nothing, but you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, you seem, well, you're a natural then.
Oh, thank you.
That's
It's
awesome.
one of the things, you know, life has a funny way of kind of pointing you in the direction and wanting
Right.
to go, you know?
It's funny because like everyone has these stories, like, you know, saying that, you know, they always wanted to be singers since they're like 3 years old. But that was never quite my story because I was actually very shy as a child and growing up. Like, I would get phone calls like home asking my parents if like everything is okay. Like they thought I was like getting abused or something. But I was just very shy and very quiet. So it's funny that I mean, I always wanted to express myself in a creative way. And I guess writing was always something that I thought I wanted to be, like a journalist. So, um, and acting was something I was involved in as well. So it's kind of funny that I kind of shifted gears and now I'm focusing on music because I feel that's what I most enjoy and that's what I'm, as cliche as it sounds, but I'm passionate about. So,
No, it's really cool too, you know, and I think like you know, I'm a big believer in like energy and you know, kind of like I think therefore I am speak it into existence kind of stuff. But I feel like a lot of times too, like, you know, when you are on a path, like
mhm.
it's like, you know, you might when you're a kid think you want to be a singer, right? But like in hindsight, you know, working towards that goal might point you towards your real destiny. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, you asked me 10 years ago, I want to be an artist. You ask me now, I want to be a journalist. I
On the
want to
other
be
side.
a person, right? You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, and it's kind of like it's the exact opposite for you. You got into wanting to do media, interviewing and
Mhm.
stuff, and it kind of life kind of pointed you in a different direction. But I think it's really cool how you know, it has the ability to do that. It's like almost like, you know, the universe knows what you want to do and you project the energy out, but it's like it guides you to where you should be. You know what I
That's
mean? It's
100%. I totally agree with that. It's like the experiences that we go through kind of leads us to, I guess, the path that we're supposed to take. So it's all an
yeah.
experience, really, right? So,
Yeah, it's really cool though. And so I'm
mhm.
curious too, you know, being that now you're finally you're switching the gears and you are becoming we. Um,
Mhm.
do you? Because I've experienced this before, but do you ever experience when you're being interviewed by someone, you're like, ah, shit, you know what I mean? Like I would have interviewed myself better than this.
Well, the funny thing is, when I'm doing interviews, like sometimes I forget that I'm the person being interviewed, and then I start asking the person who's interviewing me questions, and I kind of like took over their whole show, and I didn't mean to do that. So it just kind of kicks in sometimes. But I'm like, I should just interview myself and just host a show myself. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
Yo,
we'll see.
that's funny though. I actually I have a buddy who runs a YouTube channel, and he's done that. He's interviewed himself before. I thought that was pretty
So
clever.
the crazy one then. Okay.
Yeah, and you know you're gonna get the interview you want if you're conducting it yourself, right?
Right. I know what questions I'm going to ask and how I'm going to answer them. Yeah.
No, that's cool though. I think it's pretty neat too how you just kind of fell into it and like so prior to that because I know like you know doing journalism obviously you write a lot and I think that's an ability you know a lot of creatives have you know when they're writers you know being
Mm,
able to transition from songwriting to journalism or journalism to songwriting you know they're
right.
kind of the same right it's just you know about adding rhythm or some
That's right.
rhyme to you know something you're already good at. So I think but I think it's kind of neat that you just kind of like stumbled across.
That's right.
And
It just happened really quickly too. So yeah, it's funny how things kind of worked out that way.
that's cool. And so did you write your own music like currently though as well too, or
I do. I have a lot of unfinished music
yeah?
that I've been writing. I do actually have a few other tracks that I'm going to be releasing shortly after the track with Danny, which I kind of co-wrote.
Yeah.
They're more like reggaeton tracks because
Oh,
that's
cool.
yeah I'm kind of like if it sounds good, I'm gonna do it. Like I even have another project that I'm working on in Bollywood because I'm surrounded by so many cultures and I've always been around like different cultures growing up. It's just kind of it just seems kind of natural to me to want to
Yeah.
collaborate with all these different artists, and I think it's just reflective of Toronto, right? And that's the beauty of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're like the most multicultural city in the world, right?
Right, exactly. And I even have like another track that's coming out with it's going to be a French, English, Arabic track. So I'm
Oh,
excited about that. Yeah.
wow. You're really crossing the lines.
Yeah. I just want to see,
That's,
I just want to collaborate with like, I want a song in like every language if that's possible. I just,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's
That's
the goal.
cool. That's really
Hmm.
cool. But I like your artistic approach as well too, because you know I feel like a lot of times artists, especially when you're doing it from a young age, you know, like I think that's maybe a bit of a freedom you have. Like, you know, like it's hard to almost imagine yourself doing, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like different kind, you know what I mean? It's like you grow up, like me myself, I grow up rapping, right? So it's like I can't imagine putting out like a R&B song. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
like, you know, like it just seems odd. And I feel like as an artist, sometimes you kind of box yourself into specifically your art, especially when you've done it for so long. So I think it's really cool, like that, you know, right out the gate, you're like, I want to do this. I want to try this, you know, do some EDM, do some reggaeton. I want to blend all these together.
That's just it, because I don't want to put myself in one box, because to be honest, I want to do a lot, and I just, if it works out, it doesn't, that's fine, but that's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to do different styles of music. So I don't know how I would categorize myself as an artist. I would call myself a pop singer, because that's the style that I sing in, but I mean, all the songs that I'm coming out with have a totally different vibe, so
that's cool. That's really cool. And so it was June 10th, you said, right? Or was it June 5th? Sorry.
June 5th. So Friday.
So
it'll be available on all streaming platforms. So.
And that's cool that you got Danny Fernandez in there too. How did, like, you kind of explained how, like, you know, it got lined up and stuff, but like I seen your Instagram, you guys actually were in the studio making the record together too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that experience kind of like?
Oh yeah, so it was pretty cool. Of course it was nerve-wracking in the beginning, like just meeting him. I'm like, okay, so like I was a fan of him, like growing up or going to university. Okay, I'm probably aging myself, but you know, he's someone that I would like listen to when I was in university and stuff. So it's kind of weird that I'm like sitting down with him and working on a song together. And he was just like really chill. Like he didn't make me feel like, you know, I'm like an amateur or anything like that. It was just, we just kind of vibed, like we knew what the sound that we wanted, and that's why we put the track together so fast, because we're kind of seeing eye to eye on everything. So
yeah, that's really cool. And you know, I think it's important. I think that's a kind of something that's lost in music a lot nowadays. Is, you know, everything's done through email and stuff. Like sitting down and working with artists, you know, I think that's very important. That's how you get the best quality material, and that's what it's really about, right? It's not about, you know, the big name is cool, but it's about creating together, right? It's not send someone a song and they do something and send it back. It kind of,
so it's very collaborative. I mean, like I definitely had insight on the song. I mean, of course, he did most of the songwriting. But yeah, it was definitely a collaboration though in terms of idea stuff. Yeah.
And did you have like the instrumental, like the production? Did you have that prior? Did he?
Not all. We just did it all. We just sat down with the producer, and he's like, "Okay, what kind of sound are you looking for?" I'm like, "So I kind of want, you know, I want like a club banger. I want an EDM track, because that's what I wanted." And yeah, we just literally put all the instrumentals with the beat together. Yeah, and then added the lyrics, and then we just started recording.
That's awesome. So you guys literally built it organically from the ground. Completely. That's really cool. That's really cool.
Definitely.
I feel like that does not happen a lot nowadays. So I think that's really cool. And I think it's a very organic kind of, you know, it reminds me of like how music was made when I was growing up, watching, you know, wanting to be an artist, you know, like, I think that's really cool. And you guys shot a music video for it as well?
No, that was actually part of the plan, but because of COVID, that kind of put that on the back burner. So hopefully we can start shooting once this is all over. I'll definitely have a lyric video coming out shortly too, though.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And you know, like with this newfound you know, venture through music, is media, acting, you know, are those still things that you're passionate about or want to continue doing, or are you kind of, you know, shifting all your focus in one direction at this point?
The majority of my focus is on music, but I still on acting projects on the side. I just recently shot a commercial a few weeks ago for Marks Canada. Cool. So yeah, that's something that I did. So I'm still, I mean, if the projects come, I'm still gonna take it. So yeah, but music is my focus.
And do you get people that come up and recognize you too from being like, have you been in commercials prior to that, or?
Well, this was actually my first major commercial. Like I've done commercials when I was a lot younger, so I can't say established actor. I think I'm still kind of making a name for myself. Like I've been in a lot of independent like films and stuff like that, but yeah, still getting my name out there, I think.
I've seen some of your resume on films too. Like, you know, there's some impressive stuff there. Like like, I'm quite surprised at how much you know, in every field you've been able to accomplish.
Well, yeah, I guess I was trying to figure out, like, you know, what I really wanted to do. So that's why I kind of put my put it in every door to see what I was really feeling. And I guess I feel like music is the path I want to take.
That's really cool though, you know, like it's quite amazing, you know, like to see like everything that you've done and all just the different you know, levels of it. You know, it's not like you were just like in one TV show once. So like, you know, you did a couple interviews here. Like when I look you up, you have a full catalog of
Oh,
like,
thanks.
you know, you have like you have a page on IMDb with a catalog of different films, independent films, short films, things you've been, you know, it's like that it's pretty baffling. Like that stuff takes a long time, you know. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize too. You know, music is one thing. You can go in the studio for 8 hours, knock out a song.
Yeah.
You know, doing films and stuff like that, that's very time consuming, you
Oh,
know.
definitely. Yeah, that's for sure. It definitely is. But yeah, I mean, acting, I still love acting for sure. But my music is more, I think, my thing.
That's awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to the single to come out and you know, any other music you got coming out as well too. You know, you've done modeling, you've been in some pretty big music videos as well too, right?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of that too. Yeah, so I like to keep myself busy.
That's crazy. That's awesome though. And one thing I was curious if you were aware of, did you know that you haven't been active since 2014, so I don't know if you're aware, but did you know Toronto Batman follows you on Twitter?
I had no idea. No,
You know
really?
who it is?
Oh, and I come across him a few times in Brampton, which is funny, but I didn't actually know he was following me on Twitter. Good to know. I can probably say hi to him.
You might save your life one day.
Maybe. Good to know.
And so do you is there like a, I mean, I guess with COVID it's kind of difficult, but do you have like a set date for when you're trying to get like an album out for or anything like that, or are you just kind of taking it singles?
Singles is what I'm kind of is kind of the plan right now. So no plan for an album as yet. So I'm going to see how it goes with the singles, and then perhaps maybe down the line an album.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you know,
I think I froze up there.
your resume is impressive. That's all I can say. Like, but another one too. I seen that you're in a music video for what was his name? I know the song was called DNA.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I hope he's not watching this. Yeah, it's
It was something live. I can't remember.
Yeah,
that.
JMC. No, oh my God, don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Hopefully he's not watching. But he's a really talented guy. I know he's on my Instagram. GMC 905. He's
yeah,
really
that's
yeah. He's a really, really cool guy. Yeah. So that was like a last minute thing. I literally found out about that music video shoot like the night before. Or like the evening before, and they're like, oh, Sheena, you want to be in a music video like tomorrow? We're shooting. Like, okay, all right, sure, why not? I don't say no to opportunities, so I'll do it.
Did you guys shoot that at Nocturne?
No, it was Studio Cozy.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually shot a few things in that studio space there. So
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to Nocturne before they closed?
No, I don't. Familiar with.
But yeah, it was like an old like club there. They used to do like hip hop and some, I don't know, like metal and stuff like that. But they had cages and stuff. It looked like it literally. I thought.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was literally just like an empty studio space, and we like brought in the cage like from
okay.
or something. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool though. So you get like, do you find a lot of times work is like that too, like where it's like last minute things, like you get like a call, and you're like, hey, here tomorrow morning. It's like, all right, sure.
That's like the nature of like acting for sure.
Yeah.
And, well, it's very one of the things I don't like, but that's just the nature of it. But it's funny because acting and modeling has always been something that I did on the side. I actually have like a full-time career doing something else, completely something else. So
like not media related at all.
At all. I work for the federal government.
Wow.
Yeah, so I live a double life. So yeah, that's what I do full time. So all of this is on the side.
I was gonna say, where the hell do you find the time to do this all that?
I just don't sleep anymore.
Say that.
But yeah, to me it's all about just balancing things. I think if you really want to do something, you're going to find the time to do it, no matter how tired you are. And of course, I have my days where I finish work. I'm like, I don't want to work on anything. I'm just exhausted. But you know, there's days where you want to. So yeah, it's difficult, 100% difficult. But like, I never wanted the life of a struggling artist. So I mean, I'm quite happy in my career. But of course, passion is in entertainment and the arts. So
now I feel you that, you know, I've always worked to support you know, what well too, like I got a full-time job as well, you know. So I know exactly you know, exactly.
And I think people are afraid to say that, like, in interviews, but like, it's not something that I'm ashamed of, because I mean, getting into the music industry as an independent artist is an expense, like a huge expense. Like, all of the costs, like, I'm an independent artist. I don't have any management. I don't have anyone helping me financially. Like, this is something that I'm doing, like, out of my own pocket. So I mean, I have to financially be able to support that, and that's really what my job comes in handy for is.
And it's very expensive. You know, a lot of artists think that it's like, you know, it's a fucking walk in the park. You get into a studio, you pay a little studio time, and magic happens. You put songs out and they get millions of views. It's like,
you gotta work like that.
Nope.
It'll probably be in the negative for a while, actually.
You gotta pay producers, you gotta pay engineers, you gotta pay people you want to collaborate with, and you gotta pay $1,000+ for a good music video. You gotta pay to promote that music video. You gotta it's a never-ending expense.
It's like how much I've spent in music. It's beyond ridiculous. But the way I see it is an investment in myself, because essentially it's your own business, right? So you got to put the money in too.
You are the brand, right? So all that money you're putting in is really like, it's like advertising dollars. It's money. It's money in to increase the brand name.
That's right. People are like, oh, why don't you like apply for grants and stuff? I'm like, okay, I mean, let me see what the process is. And I'm like looking at the process. I'm like, you know, I'm just going to pay for it myself.
I've been there. I've had friends
I'm
present.
gonna do all this for like what, like not even like $1,000. Yeah, it's okay.
I've had a few friends in the industry before that, you know, presented me grant papers and be like, yeah, do it. And looking at it, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, you probably get denied your first 5-10 times. You know, just got to keep proving yourself, kind of shit. And I'm like,
I ain't got time for it. I'm sorry.
Fuck it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No, it's cool that people, you know, get these grants and stuff. I just don't think I have the patience for it, really.
Yeah, they make it pretty difficult too.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. Of course, there's a lot of people applying for it, so it's fair that competitive.
Let the people like us who can afford to.
I know, like I know some people are not in that situation. I understand that, but I'm comfortable with being able to support myself in music financially, so it's doable.
Yeah. And do you have anything that you've acted in recently, like, you know, because I know it takes a lot of time as far as editing and stuff like that goes. Like, do you have anything you've acted in recently that's actually coming out soon? Like, any shows or like that?
The only thing I did recently was that commercial, and really it was a commercial about actually for coronavirus, for essential workers. And because I'm still working full time, not essentially, I'm not front line, but I'm still working like behind the scenes. So they just wanted a perspective on like how I feel working during this situation, how has it impacted me. And so I did a commercial actually about my story. So that was interesting that they chose me. So I was just one of them. They had they had nurses and a paramedic they interviewed. So I mean, I'm nowhere close to what they do, but it was an honor to be chosen and just to share my story with people. So
wow.
Yeah, so the federal government. Yeah, I know. I think it's my connection. I do apologize for that. But I guess what I do with the federal government is I work on the benefits side. So I guess they just want perspective on the situation. So yeah. So
wow.
Yeah.
So that came through your actual work. That like, was that like, did that come through you like through your acting? Like was that?
I mean, it kind of came through my acting because, I mean, I'm always checking out like acting posts, like like auditions like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I kind of came across the posting and I decided to send a self-tape like audition. And then I literally heard back from them about like 2 days later saying they wanted to cast me. And it's funny because I've auditioned for this casting house like several times for
Oh,
different commercials, and I just never. I was always like put on hold for commercials, but I never actually ended up getting a part ever. It's always been like that. So I was happy that I got this. So yeah, so we'll see.
Oh,
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I'm never gonna turn down acting gigs if they
yeah.
come up. So yeah.
And like, I'm curious too. Like, I know that you're just kind of getting your feet wet in the music thing, but you know, from someone who has actual, you know, a good amount of experience in so many different fields, what do you find? You might not want to speak on the music side. Shout out to Young Maloney in the place of you too, man. I haven't seen you in.
Oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
he does
cool.
music too.
Yeah, man. He's cool shit. I met him in an Uber once. We stayed.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a really talented guy.
He's super talented. Eh? He's like crazy talented. Like, yeah. No, shout out, yo, good to see from you, bro. You know, but I was curious. You know, you might not want to speak on it on the music sense, but you know, just from your experience in like, you know, acting, media, modeling, like, what do you find in music, if you do want to touch on it, but like, what do you feel is the hardest industry in your experience to penetrate?
I think I would say music for sure, because there is a lot of more so direct criticism because you're really putting yourself out there as an artist. Whereas, and not that I'm saying acting there isn't criticism because there's a lot of that as well, but I would say music because people have just so many different like opinions on your music. And what I made a point of doing is actually before even, since I've never even released my track, I was actually sending out my track to a lot of magazines and like media and like blogs just to see what their opinion was on my song, whether they chose to feature me or not.
Yeah.
And, you know, most of it was a lot of negative criticism, and hearing the first few like negative comments, like it really got to me like personally. I'm like, wow, maybe I shouldn't even release the song if it's like if I'm getting like this negative feedback.
Yeah.
And then as I got more reviews, I got some positive ones, so it was really really mixed. And then, you know, you just kind of develop like a thick skin, I guess, and it kind of got like fun to like read everything. You know, I'm like, oh, they don't like my song, well, this is fun. So yeah, I guess it pushes me more to do better, I guess, as an artist. And just to, I mean, not everyone's gonna like what you put out. That's just the reality. You can't please everyone.
No,
So,
that's
yeah. So I think just like the criticism, I think was the biggest thing for me that I'm still kind of dealing with, but I think I'm getting used to it now. So you have to be in the industry.
Yeah, you said it the best. You can't make everyone happy, but I'm kind of more surprised that like you know, sending it out to media places that like if they weren't a fan of it, that they even hit you back and were like saying critical shit to you.
Yeah, like I am pretty much most of the places that I sent my track to, I actually got a reply.
Really?
So, and I actually it's funny because I even had my song get picked up by a few playlists like on Spotify, and I said like my song is not released yet. They're like, okay, once it's released, we'll put it on our playlist. So I actually got quite a response from several playlists on Spotify and media outlets as well. So I just wanted to, I guess, get things rolling before it actually released because I didn't want to wait.
Yep.
Yeah. So along with the negative criticism from some places, I got a lot of positives too, and that's just a part of the game, really.
You got to use the negative criticism as just as a fuel. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But I'm just like, no, I'm surprised, you know, like just from someone who runs a radio show myself. Like if someone sends me something and it's not hitting, it's cool. But I'm not going to hit you back and be like, your shit ain't hitting. You know what I mean? So
don't have time for that, which is understandable because you probably get like how many submissions from artists, right? You don't have time to reply back to every single one of them.
And I feel like it's kind of mean-spirited. Like, I feel like not responding kind of speaks for itself. It's like, all right, you know, it didn't make it through the filter. But, like, to, like, hit someone back and be like, nah, your shit ain't hitting. Like, you know, like, that's kind of fucking ignorant. Like,
well, like I appreciated, like, the feedback because I learned from it. I'm like, you know what? That's some pretty good points there. I never really thought of that before. And just gives me different perspectives, right? I guess before my music, I thought, like, my song was, like, the shit. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like a banger. But I'm like, now that I'm getting, different like reviews and stuff, I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of see what they're saying. So it kind of makes me rethink things and not be like one track, I guess. Like, or just it's good to get different views, right? So different opinions. I mean. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Did you feel like, any of the response that you got from the record, like some of the negative response, like reading it, you're like, you guys just don't understand what I was going for. Like, this just makes no sense at all.
Oh yeah, it's like sometimes like I would actually get like some mean replies like, "This is cheesy," and that's it. Like, okay, and what? You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do with that? Like, do you have to
Right.
be that mean? Like, okay, I'm like, I respect your opinion, but did you have to say it like that? You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's
Like,
what I mean.
Necessary, but I'm sure that's just a part of the game, I guess.
No, 100%. But I think, I don't know, anyone who's like in a media space or, in any sort of way, whether it be blogging or vlogging or, writing articles, doing YouTube videos, whatever you do in radio, I just think it's kind of to respond to an artist and to tell them it's cheesy. That song is
literally, this is cheesy.
That's corny.
I'm like, really? Do you really have to say that?
It's that's not even constructive criticism.
Yeah, it's not. And for the
it's
most part, it's not constructive criticism from a lot of the places. But you get the few that just, they're just mean. That's it. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, their platforms will dwindle from under them, so don't worry about that.
We'll see about that, right? Exactly.
Shout out to Oasis. He says Gene Simmons says any publicity is good publicity.
That's right. I 100% agree with that. And to actually just get a response in itself, I think it says something because they don't have to reply. They can easily ignore it. But maybe there's something that, there's something, probably an element in the track that they must have liked if they were to listen to the whole song and reply. So, I mean, I guess that's a compliment in itself, I guess.
Or maybe they're aspiring artists too, and they're just jealous that they don't have Danny Hernandez.
Yeah, I'm really happy that I got to do that track with him. So
that's really cool. Do you have any other, for some of the music that you're working on currently or trying to, plan together, even if you can't get in the studio with COVID and stuff? Do you have any other artists like in mind that you are looking to collaborate with on some of your upcoming singles?
Mm-hmm. So the upcoming singles I have, they're actually some of them are collaborations with other artists. So another artist, his name is Lakage. He's a hip hop artist from Toronto. From Toronto. So he's actually doing the Spanish on my track because he's a Dominican artist, but from here. So so we have a few tracks actually that we've worked on together. And in terms of other artists that I want to work with, I think Carl Wolf is a big one that I've always wanted to work with. I really like his style of his music. I like his vibe. So maybe I'll send him a message and say, hey, what's up?
Actually, I know his publicist. As long as she's still for him. If you like, I can put you guys in contact, or I could just message her, let her know that it's something you'd be looking to do. But 100%. He's pretty accessible. Like, I've never interviewed him. I'm actually, now that I say that,
I've never interviewed him either. I've interviewed so many Canadian artists, but he's actually one of them that I never have. So
definitely. I can give you her. Well, I'll give her information, but I'll put you guys.
Oh, it's nice of you. I appreciate it.
It's not awkward. But no, he's definitely accessible. That'd be a really cool collaboration to see too.
Yeah.
And curious as well too. Oh shit, what was I gonna say? Something you just said made me think of something, and then me talking with Carl. With interviewing artists though, like that being said, saying you've interviewed a lot of big Canadian artists, what was like, who's like the biggest wow moment, when interviewing another artist, like where you're kind of like, shit, I got like, kind of like, I've had a few where I've been thrown off like that. I'm just curious if you had any artists that you interviewed where you're like, whoa, shit.
I think Cardinal Official. Yeah, I've interviewed him, I think a few times actually for publications. Yeah, and I was just surprised at because I was a fan. Like I'm a big fan of his music, and especially growing up as well. So I was just surprised on how chill he was. Like he didn't make it awkward at all, and he was so informal. I had all my interview questions prepared. We were literally joking around and having a conversation. I think he was driving in his car. He was just cracking jokes the whole time. And it's cool.
Pretty word, eh?
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come to my music video shoot? Like the next day, you can like we can meet and just do the interview there." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Like he was just so chill, you know?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really cool. Where were you working when you interviewed Cardinal?
that was just a long time ago. This is like years ago. This was a entertainment magazine. I don't even think they exist anymore. They were called 180.
Okay.
One, yeah. So they were like a York region like entertainment kind of publication for youth, and
Yeah.
I actually got to interview a lot of artists through them. Musari was another one that I got to interview.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he's a cool. I interviewed him a few times actually for a different publication. So one for this magazine, and then when I was with Rogers TV, and I was reporting for a TV show, then I interviewed him in person.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm a big fan of his. So yeah, actually that would be another collaboration I would like. I know he's really he's made it pretty big, kind of blew up.
Yeah.
So. Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's really cool. See, Cardinal, I was curious, you know, because Cardinal's an artist I've always wanted to interview, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually inquired to him for an interview. But for some reason, he just seems like someone, you know, because like, you know, when I was coming up, like before Drake, we had Cardi. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like this is what I grew up with. Like this is what this is what I know. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and just being around in like, you know, at shows in Toronto, like I've never ran into him. You know, a lot of the other legends, you know, you'll run into going to certain shows and stuff, like
Yeah.
my show, you know, like you know, all the legends, like you know, I've
Classics. Yeah.
met most of them at concerts, but I've never ran into Cardinal. He just always seems like this kind of larger than life figure to me. So just when you
He's such
said
a cool guy. Like even like when I was interviewing him, I think he just came out with his album. I forgot which one it was called, and he's like, I think it was the Old Time Killing one.
oh wow,
And he's
okay,
like, which track do you think I should like release off of here, like as like my first, like, or make a music video of? And so he was asking for my opinion, like which one I was feeling the most, and I told him which one. He's like, okay, cool. Like he's just so cool. Like he's just such a
wow,
guy. And another artist I would really like to work with would be Snow. I just love Canadian artists. I really like him. He's a really cool guy.
no, that
He watches my Instagram stories, but I always try to say hi, but he never messages back. So
really.
yeah.
Maybe he's got a wife and he's on a leash or something.
I think he does.
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Like, hi, Snow, I see you.
Well,
He just watches me. I'm not gonna reply to this crazy.
That's funny. At least he's watching though. No, that's cool. I interviewed MC Shan last year, who was the one who produced Informer, right? Well, at least on paper,
Oh,
produced
God,
Informer.
yeah.
And that was right around the time, like that was right after Konkama came out. So it was really cool, like talking to Shan, you know, just kind of hearing like, you know, how much that revived his, you know, like not even revived his career, but like, you know, just like all the new money he was seeing just from, you know, being
amazing.
Associated with the original record. You know, it's crazy. Snow's a legend. Snow's a legend.
He is a legend, 100%.
Yeah, that'd be really dope to see too. Did you ever interview Snow?
No, I haven't.
No.
No, never came up. That would have been pretty cool though.
Well, you know he's watching, so you know you should just start in your story like week, be like, Snow, let's do this interview.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, let's do a track. Come on. Oh yeah, I'm all for Canadian artists, so I mean I follow all of them, especially like the classics. Like not so much, I guess, the new guys, to be honest, because I don't know. I'm not really. I mean, there's a lot of cool artists.
Now that you say that, because you know I'm the same way. I like I'm a little bit more of a fan of the old school Toronto generation of music. You know, I do really like, you know, Weeknd's amazing, Tory's amazing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
But you know, for the most part, you know, that the earlier movement, I'm really a big fan of. So I know it's hard to do these questions off the top, but if you had to think of it off the top right now, your top 5 R&B Toronto, or sorry, R&B and hip hop artists from Toronto.
R&B artists, I think this is like an underrated guy from like back in the days. Glenn Lewis.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Glenn Lewis. Probably maybe Deborah Cox.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tamia. What's her name? She had a lot of tracks with Cardinal. Why is the name not coming to my head?
Julie Black.
Yes, Julie Black. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And hip hop, Cardinal for sure.
Yeah.
Who else? Oh, like Choclair.
Shock Claire, shout outs to Shocks.
Um, who else? Who else? Who am I missing? I think Rascals from back in the days.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Mm-hmm.
You and you and Shock Claire could probably get something popping too, because I know
Yeah.
City's bookings deals with Shock too. Because
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
he's
Maybe.
trying to line us up interview with Shock Claire for maybe this Friday. I shouldn't say it publicly because it's
Oh.
not locked in yet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Oh, that'd be cool. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah, but yeah, so I know that he's in contact. Like him and Shock Claire are cool. So you know,
Yeah.
if that's a record on
No.
too, I bet he can make that happen for you, no problem.
Right. Yeah. No. I'll definitely follow up with that. That's for sure. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, don't let me speak for City by any means,
No.
but
No. No. But that's a good idea though. I will
but
definitely.
I bet he could line that up for you.
Yeah.
I bet he could for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you
Definitely.
know, I'm looking forward to the new single. I appreciate your time
Yeah.
very much. You know, it's been dope chopping it up with you. You know, when quarantine's over and stuff too, like I do my show out of the Maximum FM station. It's down in Ave there. But you know,
Okay.
we do podcasts out of there too. I do the radio show every week. So, you know, once all this is over and we're actually back
Yeah.
in the building, you know, you're welcome to come through anytime, whether you want to come through our podcast, Toronto Talks, whether you
Well, that'd
want
be
to come
awesome.
to Breaking Radio. Doors open for you anytime.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, 100%. And before we go, one more time to just tell them when the single "Let You Go" comes out, and you know how they'll be able to find it online and everything.
Yep. So Let You Go is coming out June 5th on all streaming platforms. You can follow me on Instagram for all the updates. So again, Sheena at Sheena Osman. You can find me on Facebook. And yeah, just keep in touch and support Canadian talent. So yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Sheena.
Thanks. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on the show.
Have a great night.
You too. Thank you. Good night.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.